Joel, why don't you start there? I realize now you worry about tomorrow, and then you wake up today and go, oh, it's tomorrow. Boy, I wish I hadn't done that. Your thoughts on that? Let's start with Leclerc.
The end, I think it was about sequencing, right? Will Smith goes single, single, strikeout, strikeout. If he goes strikeout, strikeout, single, single, I think he just sticks with Will Smith. But once it's single, single, he begins to warm up Leclerc,
right.
and he's getting him hot anyway. It's two right-hand hitters in Moreno and Walker, who can take him out of the ballpark and then cut the lead even further if it's against Smith. And I just think, to your point, it's a race to 4. He just decided, I don't want to mess with this anymore. And he probably said something about his trust level of Will Smith even right there.
Okay, I think that's fair. Chris, your thoughts?
I agree. I understand the situation and how it panned out. You have the walk, you have the base hit to start the inning, which, forces Leclerc to get up in the bullpen. But after I see the strikeout to Marte, the strikeout to Corbin Carroll, Will Smith looked like he had his confidence back. He was pitching well. Never in his life. He has over 500 relief appearances. Never has he given up 6 runs in a relief appearance.
Okay.
Even if he's gone multiple innings, hasn't given up 6 runs. He had his stuff working in that situation. It felt like the game was over. After he strikes out Corbin Carroll, they have a 99.9% chance of winning. I completely understand. You have a bird in the hand. You got to take the win. If we have to get Leclerc in there,
So what would you do?
Every time Leclerc's in there, we're going to win. I'm leaving Will Smith in there. After the 2 punch-outs, I understand Leclerc got up, but at that point, it's still better for him to get up and get loose and not have to come in and throw those 10 high-stress pitches and give Gabriel Moreno another look at him for the 3rd time this postseason, to where now these guys are going to see him 3-4 times, and you think about his health. You want to make sure he's able to stay healthy, and if you need him today, you want to be available.
I like that you don't like the decision, because even I'm thinking it, and look, Joel and I are ruthless. We want to do what's going to win, and yet I realize, as you say, that I am reacting somewhat emotionally. I'm getting nervous. I'm going, oh no, I need to end this. Whereas they're not going to score that many runs. It just doesn't happen. I feel like I must stop it. Yes.
Can I be clear? I would have kept Will Smith in the game.
Oh, okay.
I was trying to guess along with why Texas did what they did, which is once he's up and warm, he's like, hey, you know what? If Moreno gets a hit here, I'm bringing him in anyway for Walker. Why don't I just cut to the chase since he's warm?
Okay.
I'm guessing along with him, but I would have tried to keep him out of the game for all the reasons that Chris detailed.
Will Smith right there. He's out here on the field right now. All right, the other decision. Do you walk Corey Seager?
Yeah, can I say there's a managerial check before that you didn't cover? You start Joe Mantiply. He gives you the 1st inning. There's a righty hitter up in the 2nd inning to open it.
And Josh Young, yeah.
And to me, Mantiply has one of the worst differentials between what he does against lefties, which is like a 400 OPS, and what he does against righties, which is an 800 OPS. And I understand he was leaving him in, hoping he could get to Nate Lowe in that situation to get 2 more batters.
Batter away.
They didn't have traditional longman. Here, look at the difference here. It's the 5th worst in the sport for this, and he feeds him the right-hander. Young hits a double, and that gets Castro into the game with traffic. And Castro has a wildness, which you showed with the wild pitch, that I want him to have a clean inning to work around his stuff as much as possible. I appreciate they didn't feel they had a true long man and had to steal outs wherever they wanted. But to me, Mantiply did his job in the 1st inning, and he has to be out.
And look, he also, I hear you. When Mantiply came out, I thought, Mantiply's 2nd inning. I didn't foresee that. Go ahead, thoughts on that?
I think on the managerial check, first of all, I completely agree that I think it was mismanaged in the beginning of the inning. If Castro's going to come in, give him the clean inning, allow Nelson to get a clean inning, that's what you want. Because the other Nelson is the only one who got a clean inning. He ends up going 5 innings. But I think the managerial check is probably on Bruce Bochy's side as well, because it was his decision. When you have the bullpen game, I'm not having Evan Carter hit right behind Corey Seager. I'm going to have Mitch Garver right there in the middle, to where essentially what ends up happening.
Lefty, righty.
Exactly.
Lefty, yeah.
And Mitch Garver is especially against lefties, to where the situation is, okay, you walk Corey Seager, you have Mitch Garver, who's 6 for 8 off of lefties in the postseason, hitting over 340 off of lefties in the regular season, to where Bruce Bochy's sitting in the dugout. This is a win-win situation. No matter if you walk Seager or if I have Garver hitting with Seager at first and runners at 1st and 3rd, I'm in a win-win situation.
I want to ask specifically, and I got to pin you guys down. Would you have pitched to Seager? I say, there's more damage than you think when you intentionally walk a guy. It's not that easy. That guy exists. You're moving the line down, but do you intentionally walk him?
No. Yes, I do intentionally walk him, and I take my chances on Garber.
Yes,
unfortunately, but like I say, it's a win-win situation for Bochy either way right there.
But no, I'm saying if you're Lovullo, you're walking.
I'm walking him.
That's one I could show you my phone. I was texting people, I can't believe he's not walking him here. You know, that decision should have been made a couple hours before the game when Adolis Garcia went on the injured list and was out. Mitch Garver's a good player, Garcia's a great player, Seager's a better player, and he's as hot as you can be. And I think that when I hear Torey Lovullo where he says, I didn't want to put more traffic on, my point is you're already down 3 runs there. You're down 3-0. You have to treat the runner on third as he can't score. That's the winning run there. The next run beats you. If the guy at first base scores and makes it 5-0, to me that's 4-0. You know what I mean? It's like you start with what's the best way to get another out this inning without the runner on third scoring. That's pitching to Garver.
Look, and as far as like, you know, I know Torey was talking about the second guessers and the social media, and you take a beating, but I've said
that's a real situation to ask the question. That isn't some thing on June 7th.
And it's also not, hey, nobody saw this coming. This is a essential question that we ask all year round.